it's Jenny with Cozy 101.1, and today's real funny friend, Maz Jabroni, going to be at Comedy Works in Larimer Square downtown. And you came like the perfect weekend. It's going to be gorgeous.
That's how I roll. I actually, my agent's actually a meteorologist. And he just looks at the calendar and then he books me.
Because that's got to be good when it is nice weather, but when it's terrible weather and you go in, you're like, come on, why?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely no. Well, first of all, it's like I live in LA, and so I forget that there's weather elsewhere.
There's seasons.
Until I get there. I was recently in Raleigh, and there was a hurricane coming, and they were messaging me, "You still coming? Is the hurricane?" I go, "Hurricane." I was on the plane, literally about to leave. I go, "There's a hurricane," and then I landed, and it looked nice, and then they were like, "Oh, you should be here last night. Trees were falling." I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Again, you missed it.
Yeah.
See, like you've got the gift.
Meteorologist agent. That's what you got to do.
I know, and then they have the hurricane going now in Florida, like 140 mile an hour. I've never been through anything like that, nor do I think I'd ever want to be.
I don't know how people live in these places. I was in Houston one time, and I was driving. My opener was driving. We were going from the club to go eat afterwards, and a thunderstorm had just come, and literally it felt like we were on the freeway, and we could see the lightning hitting. Like I thought we were gonna get struck, and I go, "How do these people live in this?" And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about it." And then they've got the thing with the flooding where there's as you're driving, they've got the measurement of how. Because I go, "What's that for?" Because it's the thing.
Yeah.
Like how 7-Eleven has it if the robber. So I was like, "Is that like if somebody's robbing a car?" They go, "No, man, that shows you the level of the water." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, so I don't get my car stuck. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I live in LA. I mean, we got earthquakes, but whatever,
Yeah. Trade-off.
Yeah.
It's 100% trade-off.
Yeah.
Well, and then we were, speaking of dangerous situations, we were coming up the stairway today, or in the elevator, and it goes, and we were thinking, like, if you're going to get stuck, which we thought for a second that we could have. Well, I kept it cool. You and Mel were a little bit freaked out.
No, Mel was freaked out. I just happened to be standing next to her.
And they're like, is this normal? Yeah. Sorry. The last couple of days.
Yeah.
But if you're going to get stuck in an elevator, I love that. Might as well be with a comedy guy.
I got one better. If you're going to get stuck in an elevator, it should be a masseuse.
Who
likes to do like deep tissue 2-hour massages.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was perfect.
I like that one.
And they happen to have their bed with them. And it's a big enough elevator for their bed.
I feel like we're getting a little outside of the ability here. Although I do always have that dream where I'm like stuck in an elevator with Taylor Swift and we become best friends.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Right. If you were stuck in an elevator, who would it be?
Well, I'm going to tell you a story of best friends because I was doing a show in L.A. and Sylvester Stallone was in the audience.
Oh.
Now, I was born in Iran. And the first movie I ever saw was Rocky when I was about 5 years old.
Oh. So
here I am, 45 years later, Laugh Factory, performing in front of Sylvester Stallone. I'm thinking to myself, wow, what a world, what a country.
Moment, yeah.
So I'm doing my show and it's going well. And I'm like, I just want to tell him this. I really want, and in my mind, I'm like, if I tell him this, he's going to be like, oh, that's so cool. And maybe ask for my number and then maybe, hang out. You know what I'm saying? I go to Sly's house. Maybe Arnold comes, you know what I'm saying? I just want
absolutely.
It, just to, and then I get a selfie with them, post it. It would be a really good career thing. Anyway, I came off stage and it had gone well. And his wife, I don't know if they're married anymore, but anyway, she was there. And and as I'm going to talk to Sly, a fan comes over and starts talking to him. So I'm like, and I'm about to walk past, and she goes, hey, come here. And she goes, it's the comedian. And then she taps Sly, and she goes, it's the comedian. And Sly's talking to somebody else, and he turns to me, and I go, oh, hi. And I shake his hand, and I go, your movie, Rocky, was the first movie I ever saw 45 years ago in Iran. And he goes, oh, really? And I go, yeah. And he goes, ugh. And then I walked away, and I was like, we didn't become friends. Nothing.
That whole entire monologue in my head of how this is gonna be.
Nothing.
Well, you get starstruck. I'm sure. There's people where I just get tongue tied. I'm like, okay, and I could talk. Obviously, that's my job.
Yeah.
But if you get in front of people, you're like, hi. Like Jason Momoa, I was like,
but you also in your mind, you're like, because you know them. You understand what I'm saying? So in your mind, you think, well, hey, Jason?
Yeah, what's up, Sly? You're just
Sly.
Sly,
how you been, man? He's like, I'm gonna be a Rocky 10, wow, yeah.
You want to come over and be in a movie with me? That's what you thought.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
But no. One time I was working as when I was in college, I was working a gym, like the guy who checks the
Like front desk?
IDs as
Yep.
people come in front desk. And Woody Harrelson came in to play basketball at like 6 in the morning. And I'm just barely waking up, and I look over and it's Woody Harrelson, and this was L.A. And then and he gave me a thing, and I go, "Oh, hey, Woody," and he's like, "Hey," and then I was like, because I knew him,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so I was like, "Why is he being
I have
weird?"
ownership of this. Why is
Yeah.
he being weird about it?
And then I think I somehow told him about a play I was in. I don't know how I got that out. I don't know if I was like, "You want to come see my play?" I'm sure he was like, "Sure, bro, I'll be there." That's so stupid. I think I'm delusional.
And he's like, well, not going to that gym anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's stalkers waiting
Well, I
for me.
bet. I mean, LA, you've got to see him all the time. Like,
LA, I will tell you the person that's the coolest person. I did a independent film with Rita Wilson where
okay.
she and I come together romantically, like we get married in it. And so I've now run into Tom Hanks a few times. The first time I ran into him was like the backstage of some kind of show or something. And I went up to him and go, "Mr. Hanks, I'm so sorry. I was in a movie with your wife where, I played her husband." And he's such a charming guy. He goes, "You're the guy." And I go, "Yeah." And then he goes, "Let's get a picture." And we got a picture. And then a few years later at a restaurant, same thing. He was walking away. And I was like, "Ah, God." And I was with some friends, actually, who wanted to meet him.
oh, so you're like,
And I
okay,
told him
here's their in.
I told him the story, and I go, I don't want to bother him, but if he goes past us, and he's going past us, and this is like this is in Pacific Palisades, so I think people know the protocol. Don't bother the guy. He lives around here.
Yeah.
They're all But I was like, as he was walking by,
Not me,
again,
because we're best friends now.
We're best friends.
We took a selfie.
took a selfie, and he's so charming. He did it again. This time he pulled his phone out, and he goes, "I got to send this to her."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh my God!" What?
So then your friends all of a sudden, like, your real estate value goes way up. You're like,
big
I'm the
time.
cool one.
Yeah.
Told you guys, I know we're like besties.
Yeah, 2 pictures now.
Two
Two pictures. And I kissed his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so you guys are like,
Rita, I actually know. Like, I worked
you're like
with her.
redneck besties.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my
I love
God.
it. Well, make sure you check him out. He's going to be at Comedy Works, Larimer Square, Maz Jabroni, and yeah. What did you say they called you one time, Monster Bunny?
Oh yeah, one time when I was first starting out in stand-up at the Comedy Store, comedians, we introduce each other, and you ask the piano player, "Who's next?" and they say the name. And so I was new to the club, and the person before me goes, "Who's next?" They go, "Maz Jabroni," and that person later on told me, they go, "When I first heard your name, I thought you were Monster Bunny." And I thought some guy's gonna come on stage in like a bunny suit.
And you're like, okay, well, that'll be next time. I feel like now we're best friends because I know what your nickname is.
Absolutely, and I think I should start writing jokes for that story. Like, what would a monster bunny?
Yeah,
You know
what would
I'm saying?
that entail as a comedian?
Yeah, cowets. Like, it's cowet time.
Maybe not. Maybe not. No, not that. Not that.